Hello all, welcome to next session of full stack development, that is main stack development. So as part of our previous session, we have discussed about Angular and some system requirements and some prerequisites to work with the Angular. So that is a node has to be installed in your computer if we want to uh, go with Angular, right? Because it's a runtime environment for your Angular. If you want to develop any application in Angular, first node has to be installed in a computer, and then yes, we can create some what I can select, some projects, and they will be run. And next one editor is required. That is an IDE we'll be using. Uh, Here in this case, we'll be using Visual Studio Code, right? That's it. And browser, anyhow, a browser. And to make sure that we are working with Angular in our computer, first we have installed Angular into our computer. That is, installing of Angular is nothing but Angular slash CLI here. If you can install that through npm as a global one, then that is done. npm install -g Angular slash CLI, that will be installing Angular in our computer. That's it. So, and then the moment when you want to create any application, any new project using Angular, so first be in that particular folder, then ng new, then your app name, application name, then that application will be created, right? Yeah. So now, just I would like to open that in the Visual Studio Code now. Already we have created yesterday. Just I would like to open. Uh, Here, this is the folder where our application is there. Yeah. So here this is. So directly to open this in the command prompt, this path here I can type cmd. It will be opening here. And now I can open normally Visual Studio Code. In that, click for file and there open folder option, and through which I can able to open this application. Or instead of that, I can open directly this particular folder called our first Angular app directly in the Visual Studio Code. But this will work only for the Visual Studio Code. Why? Because this command prompt is from Microsoft people, because this is the Windows machine, whereas the Visual Studio Code is also from Microsoft people. Right? So there is some internal integration is there, so that we can able to do that. So for that, here I can able to type something code space dot and hit enter. So meanwhile, it should be opening that particular Visual Studio Code window with a folder called this project. Yes, right? Yeah, fine. Here I would like to, you know, what I can say is, yeah. So this is the one. Here I can able to run my application, because the application is already ready. To run the application, we will be using something called ng sir. So that will be running the application here. And as I told you already, in the Visual Studio Code tool, we do have that terminal also. So no need of for using this external terminal over here. So directly I can able to run my application here. So here I can able to type something ng sub. Then what will happen? This will be starting a development server for our Angular application to run. And this app component.html is a place where the main data will be present, the visible data will be present. At least for this moment, assume we do not have any other components to be displayed here. Okay, fine. As of now, this is the one. Okay, now what I would like to do here is just I would like to start. If I do this one, development server will be starting, and that will be running on local host and with a port number called 4200. But after running of this one, what we have to do here is we have to open our browser, and then there we have to type localhost and all. Okay, I will do that once. Yeah. Just a minute. It may take a few seconds to start.
Keshav, can you set up the link what has been covered till in 10-15 minutes? Just fast, like you are running the ng sub command, right? what has been covered in before.
Which command?
Now I just joined what has been covered yet. Can you set up some link in between? Quick, quick shares. What has been covered now only.
No, no.
Uh,
I just started with what has happened
okay.
yesterday. Yeah, nothing more.
Uh,
Just we
So,
started with Angular and what are the prerequisites to run Angular in our computer. So that's it. That is what.
uh,
And I just opened this application. Now I wanted to start this application in
oh,
the development server. Just I started this command ng search. That's it.
so
okay.
Keshav, where to get npm? We have to install npm, right?
Which one?
We have to install npm on our machine, right, Keshav?
Yeah, Node.js. Yeah, the moment you install Node.js, along with that, npm will be installed. We
Okay.
do not install npm separately. The moment we install Node.js, along with the Node.js, npm will be available in our computer.
Okay. npm install minus g is enough, right?
Yeah, that is for your Angular to be installed. So first Node should be there in your computer. So as you install Node, npm also available. Then to make sure that you want to work with Angular in your computer, we have to do this npm install and then -g and then Angular/CLI. This one we have to install for Angular to be available in your computer.
1 second, Keshav. npm install. Okay.
So once the Angular is ready, then in whichever the folder you want to create, first go to that folder structure and all there you can type this command so that you can create any application, Angular application. It have started, yeah, it started. It is showing like compiled successfully, browser application binding generation successfully done. You are able to see vendor.js, some JS files have been generated. So actually the thing is, if you observe properly here, main.ts is there, polyfills.ts is there, uh, something test.ts is there, something like some ts files were there actually. But when you look at this one here, vendor.ts, some that is default, it will be generated. Other than that, polyfills dot js, main.js, actually they are ts files, but they have converted into JS format. So we do not worry about that. As a programmer, we no need to worry about that. Who will do is Angular will do, and to be precise, inside the Angular we have compiler. So in that Angular we have compiler. So that compiler will take care of all these things. Okay, fine. Now just to open the browser and we can type that address over there, localhost, and that port number we can able to give over there. Here I would like to give, yeah, localhost 4200, hit enter. Just wait for a few seconds. Yeah, yes, up. The browser is up and we are able to see that one. Now here I would like to add some more extra content here. Just one more paragraph here I would like to add. This is app component data. Just like that I am writing here. So this is observed, just only one line is there. Now just I am saving this. Now you can able to see that that is getting reflected. The page is getting done. This is the way we will be running our application. Okay, fine. Whatever we wanted to do, yes, definitely we can do here. Here I can able to add some links here. Whatever the things I want to do, yes, definitely I can able to do here. I can able to add certain images also to my page. Here I can provide whatever I want, some images and all. But I don't know some images where the images are there. If you want to get from the internet also, you can able to add the uh, image over there. So or in your computer you already have some images, and that image if you want to add, yes, that also you can add. There is some image is there which is in the SVG format. Just that image we should like to add to our application. Not sure whether it's not proper format. That's why it's not added. Uh, now here I would like to add this one. Just add it. Just go to your page. Here able to see this, right? So in our application, some image is getting added. Yeah. So in this way, you can able to add any kind of HTML stuff into your application just by adding that inside the app component. Here, if you look at this one, this is the folder structure, and this is called a node modules folder where all dependencies will be stored in that. So as of now, whatever the default dependencies are there, they will be there. So you are able to see at Angular Dev Kit, at Babel, at CSS tools, some things. These are all are TypeScript types and different things. But all these things are default things which are required by Angular. So all will be added at the back end. So you no need to worry. But whenever we install anything as a external dependency, then we'll be installing that into our application, npm install, then that's it. Here we'll be using npm install, and that application, that dependency name, that will be added into our application, and that will be stored in the data will be stored in the node module. For that uh, node module folder. Yeah, but whatever we write the code, that will be there inside the source folder, and especially inside this app, and there we'll be having. So here we have what we can say, like app component.html as something is there. If you want to do some styling to this one, there is something called app component.css is there. We can able to do some styling here. But if you look at this one, uh, app component.css, app component.html, app component.spec.ts, app component.ts. Forget about app module. So other than that, here app component related things total 4 files are there, which means whichever the component we add to our application, that also will be having total of 4 files. But out of which third file is there called something like spec.ts, app component.spec.ts. This is test bed something. This is purely related to testing environment related activity. So as a developer, as of now, we don't need to worry anything about that. So we'll be concentrating only on 3 files: .ts file, component.ts, component.html, and component.css. Whereas CSS file is also, no need to explain much about the CSS file here. If you look at this H3RP, whatever I can say, like, it's all about styling, adding some styling. So here I would like to add something called, some division here. This I would like to put inside the division, everything I want to keep inside the division now. Yeah. And I would like to provide certain styling to that one. So if I normally add, nothing, no change will be there. But here I would like to add some CSS to that. If I apply CSS in the app component.css file, then that will be applied to my app component. So all these are together, they are binded together. So for this reason, I would like to apply something, and I would like to give some background color. So here I'm just giving some color here. It's some red color related. Yes. What I can say is like, the entire CSS, entire page is getting uh, reflected. Okay, fine. Now, what I'm saying here is you can add any kind of content to this one. Yes, but the problem here is uh, you cannot add all the content in the single page called app component.html. You may get it out. We are talking about a single page application, but still we are not writing. Yes, definitely a single page application, but writing all the data in a single file, in a single component file is a huge mistake, and we cannot get a proper application. So for that, what we'll be doing is we will be creating our own components, and then we'll be able to display the data related to that particular component. Then what happens, the moment you create component, 4 files will be generated. As I told you already, you should not worry about TS file, the spec.ts, not TS. And then CSS also should not worry about, because that's only purely for the purpose of adding content. Then the main concentration would be on HTML file. Next, we'll be learning something about component.ts file. If you look at this one, component.ts file, where the main logic will be there. That is like, if you look at this, what is this component? Here it is telling export class, and the class name will be there, app component, right? And some title will be there. With what title? Your application title will be there here. That's it. This is about your component. Okay, we are going to create our own component so that you can able to understand something more. So for that to happen here, I will like to add one more terminal here. Already in one terminal my application is getting run, and in other terminal what I would like to do here is I will like to create a component now. So to create the component, what I can do here is normal way I can able to create the component. But if I want to create the component in a normal way means what I can say is that is manual approach. Normal means what I have to do. I have to create normal one class. The class name is what? Export class. I have to write. Then that class name I have to write. Then okay, fine. And but just about to the class name, there is something that we have to remember. That is important thing. That is h component, and there you have to use this. Then some selector name means anywhere if you want to use this component, you want to display some data of this component anywhere, then with what name you have to detect or you have to recognize this component is the name is app-root, and template URL for this component. What is the view related information? HTML, that is app component.html in the same folder structure that is there. Then what kind of styles this component is going to accept, that is also there in the this one. So but all this setup I have to do manually. You understood that? I have to do everything. It is component.html I have to create, and component.css I have to create, and even the class name also I have to write. Then I have to write export, and then I have to import this one. All this stuff I have to write manually, but this is an hectic process and absolutely not a recommended process. This is the reason. Take the help of Angular CLI. So creating a component in Angular. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So to do that, very simple one, ng generate component, and then your component name, whatever the name you wanted to give to your component, that name you can able to give here, ng generate, then component, and then component name, and with that you can able to give the add the component to your application. Okay, fine. Now, or instead of that, you can make it still more what I can say minified version, that is ng g c, and then component. G indicates for generate, C for component, right? Yeah. So now we will have to create one component. So just to go to this, yeah, here terminal is there, right? So already you have two terminals. One is running for application is running, and in that other one I will have to install. So I will go with this one minified one, N G space G space C, then my component name. So here I would like to add a component called home component. So if you want to add any component name, so this is app component, right? So there app component class is created. So you don't need to worry about component word here. Just to create home component, simply create home only. That only will take care of everything. The Angular will do for you. Just observe this. If you look at that one, what activity happened at the backend is create. So inside the source, inside the app, one more folder called home folder is created. In that component.html, home component.spec.ts, home component.ts, home component.css. Total 4 files were created. Right? If you have doubt, you can observe here. So inside the app, inside the home, here it is getting created. Right? 4 files have been created. If you look at this one, home component.html, by default, some placeholder kind of text will be there. The paragraph it tells like the component name, what your home works. Yes, it's just like that. Okay, fine. But if you look at this, what I can say, instructions, not instructions. What happened once that is run? It is showing you right. Then resulted messages. In that, if you look at that one, create for all created. Other than that, something update is there. Something is getting updated also. What is that one? src app.module.ts. So this file is getting updated. What it will be updated? Generally, what happens whenever we create any new component in our application, there is something called ng module is there. At ng module, in that we have some arrays in there. Declarations array, imports array, provider array, and providers array and bootstrap array. You understood my point, right? So here in this declarations array, whenever we create any new component, we have to give the component name over there, component class name. What is the component name here? Home component. Just now we created it, so that we have to actually add over there. But did we add on our own? No, but still it is added. Who is adding? Angular will take care. Angular CLI will take care of that at the backend. Right? Getting added. By default, it is getting added. So if you are creating the component in a what I can say like general approach, like manual one, then you have to create the class, you have to write everything you have to do. For example, if you go to this my TS file, app component, home component.ts file, here you're able to see right something called home component. This automatically created, and the top of this add component decorator, and I have to mention two properties, URL and extension. So this stuff, this stuff I have to write on my own, and once that is done, again I have to update in my app module.ts file in the declarations array. I have to mention my component name, and all this stuff is headache. No need. Okay. And if you look at this one, selector, what is this one? App hyphen home, which means in whichever the file and whenever you wanted to use this data which is related to home component, if you want to display, then simply the entire component you can simply display with the help of one selector called app hyphen home. Means this is your element selector. Wherever you want to add, you can able to add. So for you to understand in more understandable way. So what I'm doing, I'm just commenting this one so that your application will have only this is this data is from your app component.html. Now what I would like to do here is in my app component.html here only. Now I would like to add my home component related data. So how to add? Wherever you have your home component data to be displayed, where is my home component? Yeah, here is my home component. What is the data? This is the data. But as I told you already, all these three things are binded together, and especially this HTML file and TS file are bounded together. So whatever it is there in this selector app hyphen home, no? So this, if you can write, then whatever the data is present in the HTML page, that will be displayed over there. So for example, app hyphen home, here I'm typing. Now just click this and just see here. This is before reloading only app component.html related data was there. Now I am just reloading. Now home component related data also will be added just to below to that app component data. Right? Definitely. So what is there in the app Python home? That is home component data. No data is there in the home component. It's just one simple paragraph over there. You understood it? So now I would like to add something extra to that one. Home component HTML over there, and here you can add whatever the stuff you wanted to add here. And this everything I would like to keep under division now. I'm writing something like this here. Here I'm just typing something like welcome to home component. That's it. Now I save this. Just go there. Yeah, it's. Or if you want to provide some CSS only to this home component specific, and yes, for that reason, if you want to give any name, you can give that ID name, or if you want to give only for normal, then that also you can able to give here. Some color and some background color over to add. Light green color I'm giving. Just go there. Right. So that is getting added. So in this way, you can able to add any number of components you wanted to add. Yes, you can able to add over there. Right. So this is about how an extra component can be added to your page, your application. Fine. Now, what is this component actually? So this component is nothing but here. This is the basic building block for your entire application here. Why? Because as we already discussed, uh, this Angular application is something which is a component-based architecture. We'll follow the component-based architecture, and in that app is the default component actually, and that will be acting as a root component or top level component. So I don't know whether you observed or not. Whatever the component I've created, like home component, that is not created as a separate folder. Yes, it is created in the separate folder only, but that is there inside the app. If you observe, so this app itself is my entire Angular application. Inside that, you are able to see something called home. If I create one more component, then that will come here inside the tab, one more folder. I assume like I have created contact component, then contact will be there. But that is inside the app. If you look at this path also, so app inside the app home, inside that home is attribute, right? Because that app itself is root component or top level component. And any component you take, the components are nothing but here the basic building block of your app, your Angular app. This is the basic building block. And what exactly this will be containing here? So this contains two, three, four files are there, but spec.ts is dedicated for testing purpose. .css is dedicated for styling purpose. So mainly, if I talk about my component, it is of two files. One is .ts file. That is whatever the component you take. For example, home component only you take home component dot html and home component dot ts. So this is the view file of component. This is a view file. Means whatever the data are related to that component to be displayed, then that data will be written inside the home component.html. This is the view file of your component. Next comes your home component.html. Then this will be home component TS, not HTML. This will be the file where main logic and data will be inside. Data will be present inside. So inside this data and logic of that component. Some logic will be there. No? So if this is the one, this has to be displayed. Or if this is the case, this has to be displayed. Else something to be displayed. Something kind of. So data and logic of logic file. So if you're talking about any component, inside the component, you will be, it is all these three things are binded together. That is data, logic, and something like some view. So all these three things are binded together inside a component, any component you take. And that is binded in between two files, three files, but that is CSS is purely for styling purpose, right? Two files. And the data and logic will be present inside the DS file, whereas view related information will be present inside the .html file here. You understood? More about TS file actually. Now, just go to your component here. Okay, fine. This is about your home component. Okay, it's working. So this everything is happening because of this home component .ts file only. If you look at this one here, what is the selector name? App iPhone home. That is the reason it is getting happening. Now, if you want to write some data inside your TS file and the same data you want to display in your HTML file, yes, that is also possible. So, but before that, if I talk about a component, what exactly a component will contain, just now we have discussed view or template. So it will be having a template will be there and template data will be there, and not only this one, not this component file. So your HTML file, this is about a component. If you're talking about a component, so component is a collection of logic, data, and a template. The component itself will contain all these three things. Inside that, a dedicated file is there for one activity. For template related thing, it's .html file is there, both logic and data. .ts file is there. Okay, fine. Now, what .ts file is the main file where, without having this external HTML file also, still I can able to relate, display the data related to that particular component. For example, how can I say? I will create one more component so that you can understand. Here, I will have to create one component called ngg0. Yeah, some footer component I want to create. Just hit enter. It will be creating more folders. Not one folder only, but four more files inside that folder. That is home done. Yeah, footer, right? Now here, uh, okay, HTML is there. Uh, here I have to add some. Just I'm writing this a footer of our application, just like that I'm adding. Now save this and just go to your application and check it. But nowhere you can see that. Why? Because we have not used this in our application, because our application entry point with respect to display is app component.html, and everything will be displayed here. Even other components data also will be displayed here. How it will be displayed? By using the component selector. What is the component selector for your footer? So definitely it will be, if you want to check it, go to TS file. Then what is the selector for that? App hyphen footer. Right. So now I would like to use that one. So where is that app hyphen footer that you just mentioned here? App hyphen footer. You no need to check for your what I can say selector name also. What is your component name? Footer, right? Simply that is app hyphen footer. That's it. So by default, app will be there as a prefix for that. Directly can able to. Now simply save this one. Just go to where you're able to see something like this is a footer application. Footer of the application. Styling also to that one. Yes, you can able to do all this. So for example here, yeah, okay, you can add. That's not a big deal. Now here in this footer dot component dot HTML, some stuff is there, some data is there. Now what I want to do here is my footer component is here. In this template URL selected is there. So this one I don't want to use. Uh, Commenting this. Then no data should be displayed or some error is showing here. What is error? Fail to compile. I will have to check in my inspector window what kind of error it is showing. Whether it will throw some error here. Errors while loading itself is error. Object, okay, errors in the index.js file. Yeah, it is showing some error. The TS file. But still, error is there. Why? Because I have commented that one means what I can say. Component should have logic data and that should be displayed. Okay. If you have empty data also, that is not a big deal. So that is like, if I have empty in my folder, in my page, if the data is empty, but here in the footer, here I'm commenting everything. Now in the TS file, I'm just opening this one. Now save this. Just go to your application. Then it should work fine. It's not getting updated. Yeah. Now see, still it is working, but no data from the footer is getting shown. Why? Because inside the footer component, no data is there in that HTML. Okay. So now my question is not that. So mine is something like, okay, this can be there, but here I'm okay. This can be there or this cannot be there. That doesn't matter. What I am written, this is a footer application, footer works. But if you go to this uh, if you go to this TS file, here I don't want to add this. Now here I'm not adding. Now save this. Earlier I removed that one. Now I did not add. So if I don't add HTML stuff, that is like view related stuff, then still it is showing the error. Now what I am doing here is instead of template URL, here I am removing that URL and I'm writing something called template here. Just observe here, guys, what I am writing. And I'm just typing something here. We can add data like this also. Just like that, some text should be there. No, just I'm writing this text. Now just go to your application. You're able to see that we can add data like this also, which indicates like template. That is, your component always contains three things, as I already told. That is logic, data, and template. And this template is view of your component. What your component contains, that can be seen in this template. That template you can add in two ways. One is one HTML file you can create. Create means already created by default. You can create, and inside that you can write some stuff, and that you can add inside your TS file using a property called template URL. What is the property? Template URL, and using which you can able to add it. That URL name you'll be writing. Okay, fine. That is one way. The other way is inside the TS file itself, you can able to write your HTML code. HTML. That's I hope you got it. Yeah. So this is the way. This is about your basics of component here. Now we are going to work with this one. But there is one disadvantage with this one. Disadvantage. Okay, but if you want to write some more component related information, that is view related information, then you cannot write. If even though if you write, that doesn't seems to be fine, right? If you have simple thing, if you have limited template data to be displayed related to this component, then you can use. If you don't have that limited, if you have huge data to be displayed or something, so then definitely we take the help of external HTML. Okay, that is fine. But the problem here is now uh, I would like to add okay here one more also extra. Then what I have to do here? But oh, how much I will write like this? Not possible. Right? So then line by line I want to write. But if you look at this, you're able to see something gone wrong. Got it. Or if I write like this, then it is fine. I just go there. I just saved it. Go there and after yes. As it is a paragraph is a new element that is by default getting started in the new line. Okay, fine. But the problem is how much I will write in my single line. Right? Not a proper way of writing it. But if I try to write like this, then so, just to avoid this here, what is this? Here it is coming. Single quotes I have used. Now here I will have to use something called double quotes. Say working fine, double quotes also working. But if I try to do this here, again error. So single quotes and double quotes are not working for me. There is a special syntax that I have to use that is called backtick symbol. Instead of having single quote symbol, we try to use backtick symbol. Now, for these three things, if you write in the single line, yes, it is working absolutely working. Now, if I would like to write in the multiple lines, no error, right, as of now, and I would like to add one more.
Keshav, what's the issue with the double code and single code? We can't enter multiple lines with the double code or single code commas.
Yes, we got it. Yeah,
Can you show
that
some
is limitation.
example? Okay,
That's a limitation.
okay,
Limitation. Yeah.
okay. So
See,
for
the
in
thing is,
place
the
of a
thing is
double
like
code.
Sakshi, the thing is
Hmm.
like if you want to add HTML, that is like template related stuff, you don't do this actually. We'll be using the .html file. You understood, right?
Right,
We'll be giving
right.
the .html file. There only you write everything. But what I am
Hmm.
telling is, whenever there is a situation for you to display only minimum information, you understood,
Hmm.
right? Minimum
Hmm.
data, then we will be using this. Got it, right? This
Right.
is a what I can say an option is there instead of using an external HTML file. Here also directly that option is there, but this option is a limited option where you
Hmm.
can write some small. You can write actually how much of the data you want, but if you use single quotes or double quotes in the single line you can't give. In single line alone you can give, double lines you cannot give. For that backtick symbol you have to use. That's a
So
syntax you have to follow. Yeah,
Keshav,
So
yeah. One minute.
what this symbol is you are using in place of double code or single code,
Backtick
and
symbol.
what then
That symbol name
back
is backtick. That is
backtick symbol.
left side of your number one two three will be there in the key, right, keyboard. That is just to
Hmm.
below the escape button or top of the tab button.
Okay. Okay. Got this. So normal with the shift need to press it. The t
Yeah,
on the
no,
team.
no, without shift,
Okay.
without shift.
Oh, okay. If I am using the double code in place of this in MACTech symbol, can you do this and it will show only the one line H2.
Which one?
If I am replacing this with a double code or the either with a single code, this MACTech symbol, so it will show
uh,
me only one line on the page. It will display
no,
only
that
one
will,
line.
no, it will throw error, right?
Okay, that you show. Okay. Okay.
See the moment, see if I try to enter in the second line itself, here it is showing some error in this file, right? You understood?
Right.
So if
Right.
if there is some error in this particular file, then what happens if I try to save this and if I try to compile, some error will be there. So my my application itself is getting failed at compilation phase. If compilation is failed, then it cannot run. You understood, right?
Okay. So, in with the single code, I can give only one line, right? In a one line
Yes,
comment in a one
yes,
line, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. That's clear to me. With the same with the double code also.
So yes, both are same. Double and single is same.
Okay. Okay, it's kind of giving the comment in a multi-line kind of we are using in our like a commenting a kind of we are using multi-line comment. In that case, we are using a percentage sign for commenting the multi-line.
Okay,
So
different syntax
same
will be
same
using now. Yeah,
same we can consider. Okay. Okay. Got it.
yeah. But I'm telling one thing, Sakshi. You have to remember one thing. All
Mhm.
this is required only if you want to do like this. But mostly you don't do like this. You will go with HTML file only. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Clear? But
Right.
there is one
Right.
more way. Is that that's why I'm just telling. Clear?
Okay. Clear.
Yeah. Chandrasekhar, anything you want to say?
Keshav, this is this how the data is getting injected, Keshav, or we can pass data
Yeah,
like how
you
do
can
I
you can
pass?
you can pass the data also here, but the thing is like that will become complex. In this file only or to write everything. So that is the reason we will be doing that separation of your logic and your template.
So if you have to pass data, Keshav, other than the HTML, right? Where will you
Yes, we can
pass it
pass.
from the component?
Yes, we can pass.
And the data, I can access it in my home,
HTML
right?
file. Yes,
The
yes,
HTML file, right?
yes.
Okay.
But that will be discussing. Okay, extensively we'll be discussing about that concept. That is our next concept. We'll be discussing about that extensively. How the data can be passed and that. Clear?
Okay.
Not only from your TS to HTML, even HTML to TS also you can pass. What is that concept and how we are passing and all that we'll be discussing in our next session itself. That is what we will be discussing. Okay, fine. So till now, what I'm expecting from you is, you should be in a position to create Angular application. Inside that, you have to be in a position to create different components and all together. And I want you people to display those components in your application. That's it. I want you people to do this one. And when you are writing template also in two ways, I want you to do that. Clear? So just try to do this uh, as
Keshav,
a
my npm install is stuck, Keshav. It says it's installing packages for a long time. Will it take so much time?
what you have installed.
I'm doing this npm and the Angular CLI, Keshav.
No. What
npm
you have said? What command you have typed there?
npm install -g Angular / CLI. No, Keshav. I'm trying to create a new app actually. I did a
How
ng
can you
new
create?
app
What
name.
you have written to create app?
ng new app name.
Already Angular is installed in your computer.
Angular is installed.
Sure.
Yeah, Angular is installed because when I did the ng version, right, Keshav, I
Okay. Yeah,
got the time.
got it. Yeah, this will take some more time. Sometimes
Okay.
that will take
Eh,
some more time to create. Yeah.
Okay. When we created the component, right, you said yes to routing, right, or no to routing?
What?
You said yes to routing or no to routing, Keshav? That Angular routing. We have
Yeah,
to say yes or no.
I've gone with no.
Oh, I
You
put a yes over there, but that doesn't make a difference, right?
no problem. Yeah, that will take more time to do if you go with routing, but still it will work.
Uh,
That's not a big deal. That's not going to show here. Okay, that is not going to affect
yeah.
your creating normal components and all. Whether routing is there or not there, that is not going to affect the this
Yeah.
basic step. You understood, right?
Yeah. Okay, Keshav.
Yeah, still it is giving some more time waste process, like still getting some problem. Then just to stop that process and you create one more without using that one. Clear? We try to do that. Okay, guys. Then yeah. So that's it for the day. In our next session, we are going to see that getting data to be displayed in the web page pages. Like instead of displaying normal static content, instead of that some dynamic content also how to display. That is what we are going to learn in our next session. Okay. Bye.
Keshav, did you get the time to see my mail regarding the issue I was facing?
Hello.
Yeah,
Actually, what kind of data to be displayed is important. Just I will just reply to that mail, but after that I have not seen that mail. What kind of data to be displayed?
okay.
Uh, Hello. Some
Yes,
parsing
yes.
error is there. Something like the data might be coming
Yeah,
with in some format, and you're trying to get it in some other format. So some
right,
parsing
right.
error. So first,
JSON format.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Which format you first to decide? Okay, which format the data is coming in. Just to see that and just let me know in that so that I will see to that.
text format should be there, like the data in the text format should be there, but as it's coming in from the API, default is a JSON, that's why it's creating issue.
Okay, yeah, you have to convert into normal text. To do that, you have to
So
use
how,
stringify option, JSON
uh,
stringify option.
where 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 should I keep that? Can you provide
Wherever,
me code?
wherever that variable comes, data, some variable name is there, no? There you can dot stringify option you can go to use.
And the command, the code I have mentioned in code, in that code
But that
where
is
I
what I'm
can
saying.
mention.
See, that variable name is there, no? Data or something, some variable name is there in yours, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
dot that two string method or dot json stringify you can use two things, any one of them you can use.
Dot to string directly, like the two dot to string function we are using in the C sharp, the same you are saying I can use
Yeah,
the
yeah,
data dot
yeah,
to
yeah,
string.
yeah. Yes, that you do. Or if that is not working, then uh, you do this one. If you type, it will come there because that is your file, right? There it will show directly.
JSON
Intelligence report. There it
stringify.
will, yeah,
Okay.
json stringify or
If,
two string.
okay, it's kind of function. Like the same, I have to write this. The dot row string I write as a function. So JSON string I also write as a function. Parenthesis should be after this.
Yeah. The data or
Like
something is there. The data dot something like that. Data dot
okay,
json strings like that.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks, Yesh. I will try
Oh,
this.
yeah. Not stringy f, stringy fy. At the end it will
Okay,
be y.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
you can get there. If the moment you type there, that will come. Okay. Yeah, this is my
okay.
other file, right?
Interesting.
Here it is not showing. There it will show. Okay, clear? Yeah, I'll try
Okay,
to do
clear.
that. Yeah. Okay, Sakshi, we'll meet tomorrow. Hi, hello everyone.